it is that you're selling, whatever your product is, there's somebody who already wants what you have. You just have to let them know where you're at.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Brian with us, which is a serial entrepreneur and a mortgage broker. So Brian, tell us, what are the 5 steps that entrepreneurs should be doing out there to make the first million?
So thank you for having me on today. This is stuff that I love to talk about all the time because I think people do a lot of this stuff backwards. They jump into their businesses and they treat it, I'd say number one is they treat it like it's a job. And they have to realize that, no, you're going to work a little bit harder. You're going to spend more time than going to do it. You're going to have ups and downs that are different because nobody's funding, your activities. So you have to do it. So first thing, you really have to become the person that you need to be in order to do it. I talk a lot about when I'm doing coaching, be, do, have. So you got to become the person, then you do the thing, then you get to have. And we get it all backwards, right? Because what we'll do is we'll start out with do. So we'll go home, I got to do this, I got to do this. And we learn all these programs and we get all these things. Well, if it's a franchise, right, they try to help us and we pay for this stuff and hopefully they're helping us. But we do. And then we say, okay, I got to have this stuff. But we haven't yet become the person that we need to be that is able to make $1 million, right? Because your mindset has to be way different than it is. So that would be the first thing is become the person. And I'll talk about how to do that in a second. Second thing that I would say would be you want to try to not utilize your own money for everything because you're just going to be frustrated, especially if you had a job and you traded time for money. That money means that you start thinking that all the money that I'm going to have, I have to trade time for. And I spent a lot of time making this money. So if I lose it, then I'm thinking this is how much time it's going to take to get back. So let's say I go, I worked at my job for 20 years, saved up $150,000, and now I'm putting it into a business or a franchise or something. I'm thinking and I'm worried every day if I lose that $150,000, it's going to take me 20 years to make it back up. So your thought about money and how money works is going to freak you out every single day. So if you have a way to get investors, or you have a way, venture capitals, or you have a way to borrow some of the money that you're getting in, now you didn't earn that money, you borrowed that money, and so you're not thinking in your mind that I have to work my hours to be able to do it, which goes back to that mindset of becoming the person, right? And thinking differently about money. The third thing that I think entrepreneurs fail to realize when we talk about lead generation or we talk about where do my clients come from. So I'd say the third thing is you, my friend, are in sales if you own a business. I don't care what you try to say you do or what you say you're not going to do.
Absolutely.
So
don't kid yourself.
You have to get good at selling, right? Whether it's a presentation for a computer board or it's a presentation, that you're selling hamburgers. You're selling every single day. And so training on understanding sales, how it works, how to motivate, how to, go across the kitchen table or whatever you're doing, executive boards and selling whatever, even if you're just selling yourself. I'm sorry, my friend, you are in sales. And the faster you realize that, you can say, I hate sales. Don't become an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I'm with you in that one, 100%.
You gotta learn to love it. And I think a lot of people, they don't like salesmen or sales because they had terrible ones that came to their house, right? You gotta have people that want what you have to sell instead of trying to convince people to buy what you have. And so, in this planet, 6 billion, it was 8 billion people now. Whatever it is that you're selling, whatever your product is, there's somebody who already wants what you have. You just have to let them know where you're at. And that is the key in that whole sales process is persuading people to get something they already want instead of trying to convince somebody to have something they don't want or need. You'll go crazy trying to find somebody that, you're trying to convince somebody they need this. you're not going to make $1 million. You're just going to be frustrated. So, and then the next thing I think that you have to do, I have personal development. You have to work on you. In order to become the person you need to do, you got to spend some money on you. You may be the expert. Let's say you're the expert in microchips. You're doing a business that is going to sell microchips, or something in that area. And you might be that engineer or that expert in that area, but you're probably not the expert in sales. And so I would say you need to find somebody that's the expert in what you're doing, and then get coached by them. That's a big thing now, coaching, right? Is everybody has a coach, and everybody needs a coach. If you are coaching people, if that's what your business is, you have to have a coach, because if you're a coach that doesn't have a coach,
Never have a coach that don't have a coach. Yeah.
you have no business coaching if you don't already have a coach. But you need to find, and you might, if you don't want to call them coaches, call them mentors. You have to have other people in your circle of friends that has the ability to help you be able to grow and learn, because you have to become a person that you're not now. Because let's say, so if you've never made $1 million, then you don't know how to make $1 million.
Absolutely.
Right? You have to get there first. So you have to find people who can help you become that person. Because if you were already that person, you would have already made $1 million. So I'm telling you, if you haven't made $1 million yet, you're not that person. So you got to become that person. And how are you going to do it without other people helping you to do that? And then the last thing is you have to be incredibly good at relationships. And so if you don't like people and you don't like to talk, then you need to find somebody in your business who does. Because relationships that you have, that circle of friends that I kind of talked about a little bit, that is so huge. If you are the smartest person in the rooms you're in, get out of that room and go find another one.
Absolutely. Run away from it.
So those are my 5, right?
Oh, I love the 5, Brian. I love the 5. And especially
follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.